Sometimes things are put back the same way, and sometimes there's custom parts. So I go over a couple of tips and tricks to help you guys so that you don't get any paint scratches. If you have a fancy bike like this, it has a nice fancy paint job and leather seats, you don't want to scratch your own bike, you don't want to scratch a customer's bike. So we are going to show you how to get this one-piece tank off. Let's get right into it. Just remember, every bike that you're working on is a little different. These older ones is one steel piece of the whole tank. The newer ones has like a dip tank, and then they have like a plastic on top of it. So make sure you look in your book or you know your bike before you take your tank off. But we took the two bolts out of the back, two bolts out of the front. There's a petcock. There's some stuff connected under here. If you have fuel injection, it might also be connected on the inside down here. So what we're going to do is we're going to lift the tank up and kind of tilt it so we can look underneath and see what we got to disconnect to make sure we don't damage anything. All right, so in taking this tank out, I noticed that we ran across a problem. I took the two bolts out in the front. I took these two bolts out. Those were 8s, these were 10s. I lifted the tank, and I'm looking back here for clearance, but there's a whole bunch of scrape marks of different colored paint. So I know that people were fighting this tank for some reason, getting it in and out. Well, I've got a trick for you. You don't want to do that at all. So we put the two bolts back in here. What we're going to do is we're going to take a Phillips head, unscrew these two here. We're going to take those two screws out. Make sure you take the collars out as well, unless they're really tight in the bushing. You just don't want them to fall out in the shop and then you can't find them again. And then you're going to take these two 10s out. So I don't know why that was so long, but take these two 10s out. And then now you're not going to hit the tank on the bar. You just lift the whole bar with the tank. But you got to make sure that you get these two pieces of fairing out first. Now, I've noticed this on a lot of Kawasaki's. So if you are having a problem taking your tank out, this will save you so you don't get it all scratched up or dinged or banged, or you don't mess something up, break the plastics or what have you. So just do it this quick, easy way. And if you guys know any tips and tricks, please leave them down below. If you've had to do this before on somebody's Kawasaki, please leave us a thumbs up. And if you know any other bikes that you have to do this crazy stuff, like I just don't get it. Maybe because it has so many layers of paint on it. I saw about 3 or 4 different colors under the blue. The thickness, I mean, it's only about 2 millimeters to come up here, but I'm not gonna scratch it. You know what I mean? I'll just do it this way. All right, so we got the tank up on its side a little bit. Now, if I had another roller, I would have probably put the roller here and then put the tank on its side this way. But I don't have any where they're we're all used up right now. So this is the petcock, which is fuel on, off, and reserve. And we're on off. And then here is the little valve mechanism underneath. And then here is just a little tube that goes down. This one has some insulation on it, which is cool, over the rubber gas line. So since it's off, it should be drained as well. We're gonna pinch this little piece right here, push this little piece of rubber back, and then nothing else should be on the tank. Now, if you have a fuel injected tank, you have to take the line off, make sure the petcock is off, take the line off, and then you're probably going to have to disconnect an electrical wire here that goes to a fuel pump that sits up inside your tank from the bottom. But always check your manual because every bike is different. All right, so after I showed you how to get the tank off, and there's only a little difference between the carbureted and the EFI, electric fuel injection. So the carbureted is not going to have that sensor. Yours might be carbureted and still have a wire in it, and that might be the fuel level sensor to tell you when the reserve light to come on or something. So you could have electric on it. This one does not. Also, if you have fuel injection, you might have 2 connections. So always look underneath the tank before you try to walk away, and make sure that you see nothing attached. Do your own due diligence. Look it up in your repair book. This is a basic class on how to get yours off. We did do the new key and cap assembly, and we did put a new fuel petcock in. If you want to learn how to do those, they will be in our portfolio of playlist called Motorcycle Maintenance, and it will actually be on this bike. But any bike will work. If you have to drill it out to do the keys, any bike will work. And any bike that has a petcock, usually a carbureted bike, will also have that. The other one's just an on-off switch. It's a different valve setup. So good luck to you. Give us a like and subscribe. I hope this helped you to get your tank on and off so that you can get down into whatever you need to fix on your bike. But look for videos for that coming out soon. So I go over a couple of tips and tricks. Blah, blah.